Hi friends, this is Kish again. Today the topic is what is the solution that we can do for Corona while we people are waiting for the vaccine, right? So as we can see, the cases are spreading like crazy, like wildfire across the whole world now. Maybe only a few isolated places like New Zealand or whatever are the only ones spared. So other than that, it's pretty much spreading like crazy everywhere. And countries like India, Brazil, United States has always been bad from the start, and others are catching up. So and now the lockdowns have all failed or whatever. They could have delayed it a little bit, but they have not stopped Corona from spreading. So what is the solution? And at this point, it looks like all the governments have whatever given up and left it to the people. They might be giving some advisory, precautionary, maybe readying some medical stuff and medical things. But in generally, in terms of what they can do to reduce the deaths or anything, it looks like it's left to the people. If you're lucky and you don't get it, you're gonna survive. If you're not lucky, then you're left to fend for yourself. So, is there a better solution? Is there a plan B instead of lockdown? Now that we cannot do lockdowns, and that's going to cause even severe problems. I'll do a separate video on that and what countries like India, Africa, whoever ought to focus on as a result of the economic recession. But coming back to trying to control or not control, but at least reduce the risk of the number of deaths and possible number of infections from corona, what is the solution? Is there anything else other than what we are doing right now or today? Is something that I keep thinking about a lot, and that's why I'm making this video. In my mind, the only solution to me is strategic evacuation. That's what I call it, strategic evacuation. So corona is the biggest challenge in highly densely populated cities. Yes, it is everywhere, but the number of cases are going to be really high. Only mainly in large cities where there's a lot of people and all are like very close to each other, and and then no matter how much you can wear mask, you can be social distanced, you can never leave your house for months together. Whatever you try to do, if the cases are rising all around you, you still are at risk. And how long are you going to keep, especially if it is young kids or it's older people above 60? Does it make sense to just lock them in the house and hope that it won't hit them? I don't know if that is the right strategy here. Yes, I see most people are following that and they're just listening to the government and the authorities and doing exactly like they say. But I feel that there is a need for a plan B at this point. And what comes to mind is, at least in large cities, say the top 20 cities of a country or of a region, whatever, does it make sense to start evacuating children and adults, people under say 18 or 20, and people over say 60 or even 55? And of course, if younger ones have to leave along with them for whatever reason, somebody needs to take care of a kid or an adult, so maybe that also has to be maybe they have to live with them along in the evacuation. But moving these people away from the densely populated areas to the less densely populated area like countryside or even another state, things like that, I see that is the only solution to at least reduce the risk that such people can acquire corona and in the end up in the hospital, and so cause more infections, more deaths possibly out of this. So whereas for the younger folks who are like between 20 and maybe 55, I guess they don't have a choice. They may have to go to work, they may have to earn a living, so and plus they are at a lower risk relatively compared to the other ones. They can stay in the city and and do all these precautions and hope that they get lucky and nothing happens to them. Or even if some of them become unlucky and acquire corona, they don't have it's not that harmful to them, and they're able to quickly recover and come out. So I don't see that any government, anybody is talking about this kind of solution. Though people on their own, I see a lot of things videos I see from Bangalore, India. I see videos, or I read an article that 5-10% of New York folks left on their own when this things started hitting the fan. And corona cases spiked to over 10,000 like in the month of March, April. So should there be more of a government aided or government announced evacuation, wherein most majority of the people can evacuate on their own who have the means? But if there is some poor or whatever, or for whatever reason they're not able to do it on their own, then the government may come in and help some of those. And of course many may decide, no, I don't want to do this at all, I'll just stay here and see what happens. Fine, if that is what they choose to do, then you can't obviously force them to do, evacuate. But would that be a solution? That's what sounds to me like the only way to reduce the infections and and also the deaths, to keep the risky away from these high infection areas, right? And of course, the challenge is going to be the guy who is receiving these people will be like, oh, I don't want all of these guys. They are going to bring corona to my village or to my small town. For people coming from these large cities. So of course, before you let somebody in, or before you have them leave, you ensure they are tested or whatever, and that they are corona free before you actually let them go from a big city. Is that some kind of solution? If you can make an isolated area somewhere where it's not, the local small town population is not affected, sure, we can go and try to do that. But otherwise, keeping all these people in the city and trying to hope that corona doesn't spread to them does not sound like any logical idea to me, because that seems to be what we are following right now in the absence of anything else. So, and complete lockdowns again are not practical solutions. So this is what comes to my mind, folks. And I don't know what you think about it. Do let me know. And it's not, yes, it can be a large scale operation. I realize that, because we are talking moving millions of people. But again, like I said, many will move on their own and the others might need help. And this is kind of similar to how, like when they announced lockdowns in India, millions were displaced, like these migrant workers. They're all don't have a job. They probably, many don't even have food, and they all wanted to go back. And finally arrangements were made to transport millions of them for thousands of miles or kilometers apart where their homes were. So given that we could do something like that, I think we should focus on these sort of evacuations, because until we can get a vaccine or cure, if we have to live with this disease, this sounds like a more saner plan, and definitely hard but doable, than just leave everybody on their own and with whatever little precaution, wear a mask, don't go out type of deal, and expect that that they don't get the virus, right? So that's what I think, folks. Let me know your comments, your thoughts. What do you think, and what actions you are taking? Thank you. Bye.